Hello, welcome to the Awesome League of Awesome Week 5 video recap. Of course, it's me, Super Keith, and in these videos, we run over the games that happened, player stats, upcoming matchups, and some other interesting facts. So let's start with my team as usual, the non-factors. This week I was taking on Thayer's team, Hurricane Ditka. At kickoff I was projected to get the win by 9 points, but when it was all said and done, I won by a lot more than 9 points. The score was 174 to 91 for an 83-point win difference. Now that 174 points, that does get me the high score of the week, so I will definitely take my word because I'm awesome. And that also gets me the biggest blowout too. That 83 points was pretty far and away higher than any other one. There's another one that's still pretty high up, and then the rest of the games are, fairly a bit more even than this one was. But I had a good domination on there. I had 6 of my 10 players hit projection. Wide receiver Will Fuller caught almost 45 points, beating his 5 times his projection. It was crazy. Also, running back Christian McCaffrey almost put up 45 points, doubling his projection. I had a pretty well-balanced team. I only had 2 points left on the bench for a wide receiver, but with the production like that, I'll be happy. I'll take it anytime. Thayer only had 2 of his team hit projection. Running back Jacobs put up 27 points, tripling his projection, and kicker Mike Nugent put up 9 points to just his projection. Now, there's no other moves Thayer could have done to get himself more points. It just wasn't his week, and it was mine this time. So he definitely made all the best moves he could. It just wasn't enough. So he does get the perfect lineup on that despite the loss on there. So good job in losing. The next game was Chris's Jefferson's Boat taking on the Frantic Frogs. At kickoff, Chris was projected to win by 3, and he actually won by more than that, 128 to 106 for a 22-point win difference. Chris had half his team hit projection. Russell Wilson putting up 32 points, almost 10 points over his projection. Wide receiver Allen Robinson putting up 22 points almost, doubling his projection. There are almost 18 more points left on the bench between Chris's wide receiver and running back combo, but he got the win despite all those points left there. Now, Frantic Frogs also had half their team hit projection as well. Wide receiver Michael Thomas, 32 points, doubling projection. Kicker Justin Tucker, 16 points, beating projection by nearly 7. He had 10 points left on the bench from a quarterback, but he didn't do bad. He just didn't get the win. The next game was Age of Asparagus take on the Fightin' Targs. At kickoff, Age of Asparagus was projected to get the win by 7, and it was again a little bit more than that, 148 to 122 for a 26-point win difference. 6 of 10 players hit projection. Quarterback Dak Prescott, 33 points, beating projection by 11. Chris Goodwin, the wide receiver, 25.5 points, doubling his projection. Almost a perfect lineup. Wide receiver would have net 1 more point for them that was left on the bench. Now, the Targs only had 4 of their players hit projection, but running back Adam Jones, 43 points, tripling his projection. Quarterback Kirk Cousins, 23 points, beating projection by 3, and 11 points left on the bench by a wide receiver. Moving on to another game. Bills Belichick, the BBC, taking on Laura's Daisy Chain Gang. At kickoff, the BBC projected to win this one by 13, and it was by 65 points they won by, 129 to 65. They doubled up the Daisy Chain Gang team. It's crazy when you double up someone. It's just a sign of domination on that. They had 7 of their 10 players hit projection. Running back Sonny Michel, 18 points, beating projection by 8. Wide receiver Sutton, 16 points, beating projection by 7. There was a trio of people on the bench who would have only net an additional 9 points, being the quarterback, wide receiver, and tight end. Now, the reason why Daisy Chain Gang lost, it only had 1 player hit projection. Well, technically 2, because someone was started who was on a bye week, so they got their 0 points. Or they just have 0 points. I'm not sure. But anyways, 0 points hit their projection. So technically 8 of 10 people missed. So they had 2 people hit their projections. But wide receiver Tyler Boyd put up 20 points, doubling the projection. There was 5 points left on the bench between quarterback, kicker, and wide receiver combo. The next game was Aaron's Pooch Punter Pros taking on the Lumster Lugs. The Pooch Punter Dynasty. How many times have I made that mistake this season? The Pooch Punter Dynasty in the Lumster Lugs. The PPD was projected to win that one by 6. Ended up being by 19, 107 to 88. Aaron had 4 of his players hit projection. The Philly defense put up nearly 36 points, tripling their projection. And wide receiver Adam Thielen, good bounce back game, put up 26 points at double his projection. Just over 9 points left on the bench between a wide receiver and a running back combo. Now, the Lugs only had 3 people hit projection. Of course, Delvin Cook was killing it, 21 points nearly, 5 points over projection. And wide receiver Calvin Ridley, almost 15 points, beating projection by 6. Another trio on the bench, quarterback, tight end, running back would have net an additional 12 points, not enough for the win. Now, the last game was Mike's Mac Attack taking on Ryan's Harbonners. Mike was projected to get the win by 17, and he ended up getting it by just 5, 115 to 110. He had 4 players hit projection for Mac Attack. Quarterback Deshaun Watson, he threw up like 100 touchdowns that game. I think it was like 51 points the team scored. Anyways, Deshaun Watson had 49 fantasy points, doubling his projection. Wide receiver Julian Edelman, 18 points, beating projection by 7. Only 10 points on the bench from a tight end. Now, Ryan had 4 players also hit projection. Quarterback Matt Ryan, nearly 36 points, beating projection by 13. Wide receiver Amari Cooper, almost 34 points, tripling his projection. Was a running back on the bench. It would have net an additional 10 points, and that 10 points is more than the 5 you lost by, so Ryan gets the salty loss award there. Left the win on the bench. That sucks. You want to give him as much as you can. So that's the games that happened. Let's get into some of the games coming up here. We'll start with my team again. The 4-1 non-factors taking on the 2-3 Lumster Lugs. 2-3 Jefferson's Boat taking on the 2-3 Hurricane Ditka. The 3-2 Age of Asparagus taking on the 2-3 Frantic Frogs. The 4-1 BBC taking on the 2-3 Fightin' Targs. The 2-3 Daisy Chain Gang taking on the 1-4 Harbonners. 3-2 Mac Attack take on the 3-2 Pooch Punter Dynasty. Now this week we have a lot of teams on bye. We got 4 teams on bye. You got Buffalo, Cincinnati, the Indianapolis Colts, and Oakland. So that means no Frank Gore, no Montgomery for Chicago, no Trubisky. Maybe someone would star him. No T.Y. Hilton. He's kind of banged up anyways. No Ebron. And no, what's the running back for Oakland? We can't use him anyway. He's on bye. The Thursday night game is going to be New England versus the Giants. Now, Sunday, we have a game in London, so that game will be starting at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Check your time zones. It's going to be different for other people here. But, there's a London game early Sunday morning, so, don't think you're going to check the lineups and you might miss something there. So, check it earlier on Sunday or on Saturday night on that. And the Monday game is one of my favorites, Detroit and Green Bay, so I'm looking forward to that. Guys, keep working the waiver wire. Being Wednesday, the first waiver wire release happened on there today. So continue making moves, make your team better, make some trades. I want to see some trade notifications on there. We moved it down to just 4 people on the bench to increase waiver wire moves. I didn't think that was a big deal in our league. A lot of people made some moves, but I wanted to see more trades as well. So good luck. I'll catch you guys later.